I'm Georgina Ripley, Principal Curator for Modern and Contemporary Design at National Museum Scotland, and the curator for the exhibition Body Beautiful Diversity on the Catwalk, which has come to the University Bournemouth on its tour. There are a lot of conversations happening around the fashion industry much more explicitly now, and I think that's largely because of the impact of social media and the kind of democratization of the fashion landscape, and the ability for us to use our own voices, and therefore we're addressing much more issues with sustainability and also diversity and inclusivity, and within that we really mean attitudes towards race, gender, size, age and so on. I've worked very closely with the Diversity Network at Edinburgh College of Art, and we were working together for a number of years, and during that time really came to understand how these issues were really at the forefront of what's happening right now in fashion, and thinking that this would actually be a good moment to have this exhibition, because it feels that this is moving from being a moment to being a movement. I think the issue of diversity, inclusivity and equity in the industry, it is a tricky one, because there is a certain amount of performative activism, if you like, and I think that was particularly present during the summer of 2020 with the Black Lives Matter protests following the murder of George Floyd. A lot of brands moved to align themselves with anti-racism protesters on social media, and it wasn't always successful, if you like. It really drew attention to the historic reluctance to address systemic racism within the industry, for example. And I think it is difficult, that small steps are important, but meaningful change is obviously what everyone is working towards. But you have to make the small steps in order to get the meaningful change. So I think all we can really think about is trying to encourage conversations around this so it becomes a new normal. In terms of what to expect from this exhibition, I think it really depends on who you are as a visitor and which of the themes speak to you in your own individual experience. Certainly visitor feedback that we've had thus far has really been about what people relate to, and it is really down to their own personal situation and what speaks to them within the exhibition. We are delighted to have each and every one of the lenders on board that we have, and we're particularly thrilled to have worked with Sinead Burke and to have cast a mannequin from her body, which is the first little person mannequin now to exist anywhere in the world. So I would highly recommend coming to see Sinead's pieces, but I think all of the pieces in the exhibition encourage us to talk about representation in a different way and incite dialogue. I really hope that the objects on display, so all the different garments, mannequins and the stories that go with them, because I think it's also really important that the object labels here are not written as the kind of museum voice. They are the individuals involved. So it's the model who wore a garment, it's the photographer who took an image. So there's a lot of personal stories in here. So there will be pieces that speak to you as a visitor that you are particularly excited to see and can particularly relate to. But there's also stories that might be completely new to you, and we hope that by reading those stories and seeing these pieces on display, it will encourage people to think differently, put themselves in other people's shoes, and just have a conversation with their neighbour. It's particularly great to have this exhibition on display in a gallery affiliated with a university, because it's particularly important that we have these conversations at the education level. All Walks Beyond the Catwalk started as a movement in 2009 and worked closely with universities and colleges to look at education initiatives that would address diversity in terms of approaches to design and production. And by bringing that into universities, it's really the way to change the future of the industry. We really encourage visitors to this exhibition to leave their feedback, because it was very much a collaborative effort to put this exhibition together. We worked very closely with our advisory panel, but also all the various lenders involved, models who feature in the images, photographers who took the images. There were so many people that it took to put this exhibition on, but it's still a learning journey, if you like, and with the feedback that we've had at each venue, we are able to make small changes as it goes forward. So then actually as a visitor you also get a say in this exhibition, and we all kind of get to evolve this conversation together.